Who would win, Scarlet King or Darkseid? Scarlet King and Darkseid are both powerful entities from different fictional universes. Scarlet King is a character from the SCP Foundation, often described as a cosmic horror with immense power capable of reality manipulation, mass destruction, and instilling fear. His abilities include reality distortion, immortality control over followers and other entities. A deep connection to chaos, and DestructionDarkseid is a major villain in the DC Comics universe, primarily known as the ruler of the planet Apokolips and as an enemy of Superman and the Justice League. Darkseid possesses various powers including superhuman strength, speed, and durabilityOmega beams that can disintegrate or teleport opponentsTelepathy and mind control. But before we dive into the analysis, please hit the subscribe button and make sure to enable notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you, Godhead Darkseid. In this form, he is said to merge with all previous incarnations of Darkseid pre-Crisis, post-Crisis, Soulfire, you name it, along with the act of killing Quintessence. This is not to be overlooked. Quintessence is one of the most supreme entities in the multiverse, alongside legendary figures like Highfather and the Spectre. He once confronted the Empty Hand, but that battle did not go well for the Lord of Evil. The Empty Hand asserted that his power was nearly equal to Darkseid's, even before having a direct link to the Great Darkness. Facing such a powerful and mysterious opponent proves that, in the vast multiverse, he is also considered the Fist of the Great Darkness. His true form exists within the sphere of the gods, a place said to lie beyond all spatial and temporal limits. Olympus also resides within the sphere of the gods and shares this unique attribute. Both New Genesis and Apokolips are also said to exist outside of space-time. This sphere lies above the Orrery of Worlds, containing the fifth dimensional bleed space, a hyperspace beyond the reach of most entities. In these contexts, dimensions are often described as separate universes. To reach an infinite dimensional level, it must be a form of existence that is many dimensions above the current, or in other words, the infinite dimensions would need a clear distinction between the concepts of dimension and universe. Under this interpretation, the bleed encompasses all dimensions or universes within it, reaching a power level of around 2A or multiverse. This corresponds to the fifth dimensional level, or low 1C or high 2A, based on the CSAP hierarchy. The new gods are considered powerful, living embodiments of archetypal ideas from Plato's ideal world, existing on a conceptual level far beyond the limitations of the common universe. If you think this automatically means dimensionless, you may be shocked to learn that it's actually not the case. Platonism, standard Platonism, considers abstract objects as transcending space and time. So, around 560 for true form Darkseid, at least in essence, along with the potential to destroy the source. However, before we consider that an outerversal scale, it's actually not. The source itself is said to be the ultimate concept of almost everything life, death, the anti-life equation, the life equation. Logically, Darkseid cannot match the true source. This is further evidenced by Darkseid's partial reliance on technology to penetrate the source's protective membrane, or something similar, though this detail is somewhat vague in current recollection. Nevertheless, it can be speculated that this was just an embodiment of the source that Darkseid threatened to destroy, not its true essence. Meanwhile, the source is considered all-encompassing, far beyond Darkseid's reach, making it nearly impossible for him to attain such power. And of course, we cannot exclude his most famous feat, his fall through the multiverse, which damaged the very structure of the multiverse. This reportedly damaged the Orrery of Worlds. He was pulling the Orrery toward the multiverse singularity, where all would be one with Darkseid. Consider Darkseid's Soulfire amplifier, which grants him enormous power, nearly an embodiment of the source. However, its superiority is still difficult to determine clearly. Although Soulfire grants Darkseid significant power balance, it still cannot match the overwhelming power of Scarlet King. Seated on the throne of Apokolips, Lord Darkseid basked in a moment of dark glory, savoring the sense of one who would soon rule all. Yet suddenly, a terrifying presence loomed, making Darkseid realize that a mighty entity had just appeared within his influence. The disgusting creature, a blood-red entity, growled at Darkseid with utter disdain. "Your existence is pain, as is all existence. Now prepare to be annihilated." Darkseid muttered, his gaze hardening as he slowly rose from his throne. "Then come," the Lord of Apokolips coldly stated, his tone both commanding and disdainful. "Prepare to face destruction." Scarlet King struck immediately, attempting to absorb Darkseid, but the new god quickly neutralized this ability with his own divine power. Not stopping there, Scarlet King charged forward and stabbed Darkseid's leg with a sharp spear, making the god roar in pain, though the fury in his eyes far exceeded the pain. However, Karakak swiftly turned, decapitating his enemy and laughing in arrogance. Just as he was about to turn away, a massive hand as large as a star grabbed him and pulled him into an outer dimensional realm. The outerverse began to crack, then collapse as the two powerful gods clashed. Darkseid immediately unleashed his intense Omega beams at Karak, but the Scarlet King ignored the searing pain and continued charging into the relentless battle. "Submit to your master, Darkseid," commanded Scarlet King. "There is no hope against anti-life. I would rather die than let you control my outerverse," the Scarlet King roared. "That can be arranged," Darkseid responded coldly. Instantly, a mysterious surge of energy emanated from Darkseid, knocking Scarlet King to the ground with such force that it shattered the spear in his hand. As he struggled to stand, an unfamiliar fear surfaced within the Scarlet King, for before him, a massive being slowly emerged, casting a shadow over the entire battlefield. For the first time in his life, Scarlet King felt true fear, deep and terrifying, as he faced this creature, an entity whose power seemed to exceed all limits of the Outerverse. With a single powerful strike, Darkseid Key completely overwhelmed him, stomping down on the Scarlet King's chest and pinning him to the ground without hesitation. Karak struggled, trying to fight back with all his might, but all efforts were futile. He was no longer a match, utterly powerless against Darkseid's overwhelming strength. What are you? Karak rasped in fear. Death. Darkseid replied curtly. Then, with a cold gaze, he continued, "Do you understand, Karak? I am a new god, far beyond all the ancient gods that ever existed, including you. Your ancient powers cannot affect me as they once did other gods." Feeling the weight of Darkseid's foot pressing down on his chest, Karak gradually yielded, realizing that all resistance was futile. However, his eyes still glimmered with one last spark of defiance, returning Darkseid's authoritative smile. In his true form. As Darkseid grew stronger, he gained the capability to collapse the entire multiverse and even impact the Monitor Sphere. When Darkseid fell, this marked not only a significant event but also pulled the multiverse into a singularity state, causing powerful tremors across dimensional layers, even affecting the Monitor Sphere. Returning to Jack Kirby's original concept, Darkseid is an immensely powerful being. So much so that even the Source could be threatened by careless nuclear explosions. Therefore, Darkseid's feats do not merely impact but have the potential to shake and even destroy the power of the Source. Darkseid is truly a creature that was a threat to the Source even before Darkseid's Soulfire emerged. This was him before his true form became something more, in a form similar to Jack Kirby's in the 1995 New Gods edition, using his technology to tear through the Source's defenses into the Source itself. Subscribe to our channel, it would help us a lot, and in return, you'll get to see amazing videos every day. You're the best, thank you very much. Simply put, true form Darkseid is becoming a singularity that would engulf the 52 multiverse. There remains uncertainty about whether true form Darkseid could truly destroy the entire 52 multiverse or merely engulf it and turn every being within it into his slave. It is also unclear whether the anti-life equation amplifies Darkseid's power. The anti-life equation was once described as granting true infinite power but was later understood merely as a tool for controlling others' wills. Nevertheless, in Darkseid's hands, its power remains a terrifying weapon. How would Mikaboshi surpass this? Indeed, the Chaos King would destroy the Omniverse, Multiverse, Multi-Eternity, essentially dismantling the multiverse within the multiverse, and each universe multiverse as an M-body. If eternity infinity is transfinite merely layers infinity upon infinity and transcendent. Furthermore, when Amadis Show stated that the Chaos King had destroyed 98% of the multiverse universe, was he referring to the first layer of the multiverse or all layers? Either way, Chaos King would be too powerful for true form Darkseid. True form Darkseid, in a universe where he completed his mission in Infinite Frontier without interference from the Empty Hand and Pariah, has reached his final form and become an unstoppable entity within the entire DC universe. Also, he has struggled since he appeared against the Justice League's incarnation, making him not as powerful as he seems. Darkseid is truly the energy source of the Source, and in turn, it is almost like the soul equation in the apocryphal but canonical text of Death of New Gods. In Spectre 2001-19, the Source speaks through metaphor, truly revealing this event literally as turning Darkseid into the dark side of the Source with Hal Jordan's Spectre. A notable example is the Scarlet King using metaphysical power from Prometheus Lab, as well as SCP-3125, the Fifth Starfish. An outer god to amplify his power and surpass the supreme gods in omnipotence. The Sevenfold Destroyer is the true essence of SCP-2747 and an outer god at the true essence level of SCP-3125, the Fifth Starfish, originating from the Nameless Kingdom. Both outer gods are capable of impacting primordial narrative structures, specifically the 12 relics that existed even before the Scarlet King. SCP-3812 has already surpassed the Scarlet King with or without amps. It makes no difference. SCP-3812 maintains an endless victory condition in this battle, to such an extent that I will leave it to your imagination. Calvin has the capability to collapse every possible world within his spectral bubble, including the Final Frontier, killing everyone and everything, including omnipotent elders with very few exceptions, in his battle with SCP-3812. Darkseid is immensely powerful, having shackled entire universes. He is also described as the left hand of the Great Darkness. Darkseid's true form is more complex than we might initially imagine. He is Omega, the inevitable end of all that exists. He embodies the very concept of evil. Like Dr. Manhattan, he possesses a vast amount of power and abilities that elevate him to an outerversal level. Darkseid's true form is an evil god in the Platonic sense, thirsting for power, a desire that Dr. Manhattan would take from him. However, Dr. Manhattan cannot defeat Darkseid's true form, as if both exist in a universe saturated with evil. Dr. Manhattan would have no opportunity for a killing blow. Darkseid's true form would exist in every possible shape, and Darkseid's true form would not be able to defeat Dr. Manhattan until he realized that his weakness was a lack of attire. This is why the simplest way for Dr. Manhattan to defeat him is to create a universe where the concept of evil does not apply. The Scarlet King is worthy of the hype and more, being a massive void god with a horrific history and even more terrifying power. He exists outside the Infosphere, Noosphere, and SCP-3812's narrative hierarchy. His level of non-existence is not ordinary. It's neither conceptual nor narrative non-existence, but literal non-existence on a challenging scale. When Wonder Woman was about to defeat the Darkest Knight by pushing him into the Death Sun, he claimed that he could kill the Hands. It's no surprise that SK would win. Even if we assume TDK encompasses all of DC Comics cosmology, it doesn't reach level 0, where fully noospheric concepts are mere leftovers covering all possible combinations of their ideas regardless of dimension or magnitude. This achievement destroys every tier, reaching boundless and even surpassing the weakest ancient gods, far beyond both the Overvoid and Great Darkness, not to mention Scarlet King, who would surpass TDK infinitely. Such that he might be indistinguishable from an atom down on Earth. When SK arrives in a verse, if his massive form could fit into the Overvoid, it would demonstrate how vast the gap truly is. To illustrate his lower tier feats, he has killed and consumed lower level gods. Hundreds of thousands of dimensional beings, specifically 196,884 dimensional beings, have been enslaved by him, and he claims superiority over their power. He has also slain Yaldabaoth and Mikhain. The former could destroy all of reality, dimensions, time, and space. Dimensions are considered infinite in the Seaverse. Mikhain fought Yaldabaoth outside of space and time, and this is only in his weakened state. He is now going far beyond, and I would say much higher than he currently appears. But I'm not in the mood to mention all his ridiculous feats, as they would overshadow everything I've shown. Of course, there are arguments that the empty hand transcends fiction due to DC's real Earth, but the truth is, it's merely a fictionalized version of the real world. So it wouldn't truly change anything, not to mention that it wouldn't place him on a specific tier. Honestly, Darkseid would probably become a mere snack for the Scarlet King. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Follow me if you liked it. That's today's video. Thank you very much.